The RCAF have been in the news a lot lately, but not for the reason that one might expect. It turns out that for some reason, RCAF officers have a propensity to mishandle their firearms. It's time to target just why exactly police and border security agents feel it necessary to protect Canadian citizens from our own Air Force officers. Glancing through the Ottawa Citizen last Friday, I almost skimmed past an article with the headline, "RCAF officer charged with firearms offences after a police search." I initially assumed that this was an update on the bizarre tale out of CFB Trenton that first surfaced in August. In that bizarre saga, Colonel Leif Dahl, the commander of the RCAF's 8 Wing and by extension the base commander of CFB Trenton, Canada's largest operational airbase, had been charged by Ontario Provincial Police with several firearms infractions. Witnesses had reported that Dahl was discharging a firearm from a boat on the Murray Canal. This is a narrow waterway that connects the Bay of Quinte with Presqu'île Bay on Lake Ontario. For those familiar with the Murray Canal, this is not a remote backwoods area, but rather a public waterway with residential properties lining the bank. Bystanders were also alarmed at the fact that the ducks, which Dahl was allegedly targeting, were a protected species. With the arrival of OPP officers, Dahl allegedly dumped a firearm into the canal. OPP divers subsequently recovered not one but 2 handguns at the scene. As a result, Dahl was charged with the following: obstructing a peace officer, careless use of a firearm while hunting, hunting birds without a license, and having a loaded firearm in a conveyance, i.e. his boat. Following a search of his residence, the OPP added the charges of possession of a weapon for a dangerous purpose, careless storage of a firearm, and breach of firearms regulations, transporting a firearm or restricted weapon. While none of the charges have yet to be proven in a court of law, the RCAF commander of 1 Canadian Air Division, Major General Ian Hiddleston, permanently removed Dahl as commander of 8 Wing and CFB Trenton. Given the similarity in the recent headline, I was surprised to learn that this latest case of firearms offences involves yet another RCAF officer entirely. In a press release issued by Canada Border Services Agency, it was announced that a Major Kendrick Barling had been charged by the CBSA's Ontario Firearms Smuggling Enforcement Team. Following searches by CBSA investigators, which took place on October 19th in Kingston and October 23rd in Petawawa, Ontario, Barling has been charged with the following offences: 7 charges under the Customs Act, 5 for smuggling goods into Canada, 2 for making false statements, 20 charges under the Criminal Code, 9 for importing a firearm knowing it is unauthorized, 9 for the unauthorized importing of a firearm, and 2 for the contravention of transportation regulations. 2 charges under the Export and Import Permits Act for importing goods without a permit. The CBSA claimed their searches netted a haul of 7 handguns, 10 rifles, including assault rifles, 2 shotguns, 45,000 rounds of various caliber ammunitions, and hundreds of magazines that allegedly include AR-15 overcapacity magazines. For me, the real kicker in the CBSA press release was the quote from Eric Lapierre, the CBSA Northern Ontario Region's Director General. His statement read in part, "Thanks to their dedication and due diligence, the CBSA have successfully taken many dangerous weapons off of our streets as we work together to keep our communities safe." The fact that in this instance, the CBSA, and on the case of Colonel Dahl, the OPP, these agencies are arresting senior officers in the RCAF on firearms infractions in order to keep Canadians safe, it is almost impossible to comprehend. This has been On Target. I'm Scott Taylor.